Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome to Deep Space Cache. It's Node Busters crossed with Asteroids, as far as I can tell, which sounds kind of awesome, actually. I like Node Busters a lot. I'd love to go back to it at some point when I have some free time. But it was one of those games that came out just slightly the wrong time for me to fit in more coverage. But yeah, so you fly around breaking asteroids, and then using the currency you get from breaking those asteroids to upgrade your ship and increase your ability to break more asteroids. I don't know, it's a simple concept, but I enjoy it a fair bit. And I do actually like the fact that I have this ship to fly around with instead. Did I actually break it? I have no idea. Let's recall. Let's see what I can buy. So UI is a little confusing. We got two currency types. We've got diamonds and whatever this thing is. I can buy a bit harvester. Harvest bits, 1 bit per minute. Number 1, 2 out of 5. So it looks like I can maybe get more. And we can also increase the harvesting speed. We can also buy a duo mine. There's also augments, but they seem to require whatever that kind of more rounded square resource. I'm assuming that's for breaking some kind of fancier rock when we're out and about. I'm not entirely sure. I'm always curious about like how these games handle progression systems. If I were to ever make games, I would probably look into making weird incremental games. It feels like it would be kind of fun, maybe easy, maybe not. A lot of math, probably. But something I like about them is they all kind of just buck at any kind of tradition. They're just like, we're just going to do whatever we want. Let's recall again, see what I can buy with it. Can I get another? 7 out of 5. All right. Yeah, plus 1 bit per minute. Increase harvest speed. I guess we just keep going out there until we find some kind of meaningful upgrades. But so, I think so much of it is because many of them might be kind of derivative of other games. That's inevitable. But because they're so progression focused, there's kind of this feeling of anything goes. You know, what works in one doesn't even carry over to the next. Like, it's almost that each and every one of these games exists in a weird vacuum, which is somebody that loves, say... Oh, we got 2 of whatever these things... Oh, these are bits. Okay, let's buy 1 more of those, and now we can buy augments. Increases damage to asteroids, power capacity, asteroid spawn rate, and attack speed. We also have further asteroid spawn rate, further asteroid spawn rate. Let's go for a little bit of attack speed. Let's go back out there and harvest. Okay, this makes sense. I like this. Music's really good. Hopefully it's YouTube safe. It is not unusual for soundtracks like this to be licensed, though, and that's always a little bit of a tragedy. It's nothing I really hold against the developers, you know. If you can't compose it for yourself, you do have to get it from somewhere. Let's see. Just gonna run circles for a bit. Let's see, recall, do we? No, let's just harvest a second time around. Just give it a little bit of time to rack up some more resources. But yeah, so effectively we have kind of 2 concurrent resources, whatever we get from the asteroids, and then whatever we generate automatically, which is nice. Oh, did the asteroid that was off screen disappear? It did. Weird. I mean, it's fine. I would love to see a little bit more consistency in that regard, but it's not really that big of a deal. Got it. Alright, I should have some resources. Bits per minute. Yeah, the actual mine is going to be kind of expensive. Seems like my biggest limitation is really just asteroid spawn rate, more than anything else. Some of those are getting kind of pricey. But if we can just have more asteroids on screen, I'm going to spend way less time wandering around looking for them. But yeah, one of my problems I run into in a lot of other games and genres is one popular game will come out and everything else will copy it. And so like this one definitely has some of that node buster to the core DNA in it. You can definitely tell with how it's handling the upgrade system so far. But it's still unique enough right from the get-go in terms of like how you're getting those power-ups and how they're being expressed, that it feels different, and I like that. I don't know. I haven't really seen the kind of... I guess the easiest example would be like Slay the Spire is effectively still rules the roguelike deck builder genre, and there's been no escaping it. And I don't necessarily hold that against other developers. It's just such a pristine system that, of course, it's going to be kind of like that. But, let's see, let's recall. That's going to take a while. The power capacity, some extra damage might not be a bad idea, but I think I'm still going to keep pushing spawn rate. A little bit of damage, a little bit of damage. Hopefully we get some more interesting things than this as we go along. Get one more and go back out there. Whereas, like, for how successful 2 the core was, it's not like anybody else is making one where you're mulching planets. You're doing all sorts of other stuff. And it makes for a much more compelling experience. Oh, that asteroid spawn rate is starting to catch up with where I need it to be. The problem is I mostly 3-hit these things. And it's going to be a little hard to work around. But who knows? Let's see. At least we're getting more resources. Max that out. Go for that. You know, I'm going to go for a little bit of damage. Okay, generators increase harvest speed by a little bit. Yeah. And keep working it. I don't know if I care too much about increasing my energy capacity. The main problem with that mostly boils down to the longer I'm out here, the more I have to wait between upgrades. I guess I should be flying for those asteroids. Because they seem to just kind of spawn and respawn off camera. Hence the arrow just flicking around a little bit, because it doesn't really have too much permanence on where they're located. Let's just do another one. Come on. Yeah, so I think what happens is it despawns asteroids if they're off screen for too long, or if they're too far away, but it will keep doing that. I kind of wish it would only despawn them if you're not flying at them currently. Got them both. Let's recall. It seems like 2 rounds is kind of the sweet spot here. I like maybe we actually start boosting my power. I'm also curious. Oh, this probably gets huge. I was like, the talent tree is kind of basic. It's not getting that interesting yet. And the answer is, oh, it's because I've only touched it. I've only barely brushed up against what is possible in this setup. It is nice that it's purely a time limit. In Nodebuster, for example, you were constantly harming yourself every time you attacked anything. And this is much more of a, like, fuel cost is based on actually a couple of things. It is based on how long you've been out and about, too. Because I think it scales up. Yeah. Let's see. Those are too expensive. I'll go for a little bit of both. Yeah, hopefully we get things that give me, like, speed boosts and whatnot, so I can really cruise around. But I guess if we can get the asteroid spawn rate to be big enough that we're just, filling the screen with asteroids, then I don't have to worry about flying around, at least until I become so strong that I'm just deleting them out of existence left and right. But it's weird. The incremental genre, I mean, it's so broad. The entire premise of it is just make number get bigger. There's no other consistency beyond that. And I think as a result, that's kind of created this genre of massive variety. You know, there's a very real possibility we're going to, well, I mean, there already are incremental tower defense games. There's sort of incremental RPGs, though I'm not entirely sure if you'd call Disgaea that. I would very much call Disgaea an incremental RPG rather than anything else. But you've got like a lot of kingdom builders, now we're starting to get into kind of ship action games. It just makes for kind of an exciting amount of variety. Ooh. Increases the amount of bullets I shoot. Rotating bullets. Sounds fun. Guess I'll get a little bit of power capacity. So now I'm firing 2 bullets. Oh, that's gonna help. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to go back and invest some more into asteroid busting, but I'd like to get it so that I'm able to one-shot these things. Because if I can increase it so they go down in exactly 1 hit, it's gonna speed things along a lot. But yeah, I'm quite curious to see, like, every single time I play one of these, there's just that aspect of like, ooh, you know, what weird twist did they sneak into this one? And I don't know. It's cool. And immediately this one's just giving me a lot of that, like, ooh, what did they sneak into this one? You know, even seeing those just immediate split points there are neat. I wonder if it's just such a large talent tree that filling it out is just... Like, you can fill the whole thing out, it just takes a while. See if this asteroid's come back. Yeah. That asteroid marker is a little inconsistent. Maybe. Okay, augments. What I want is more damage. Ooh, but that is pricey. But that is good. Then we'll start looking into other things. Well, I guess I could have probably got some more bit harvesters there. I wasn't really thinking. I guess it doesn't really matter. Let's see. What was I gonna say? I don't know. It's fun. Oh, auto shoot. If you press spacebar, you turn it off, and that's probably bad. I don't actually know if there's like really much of a... I'm actually destroying most of these before I even see them, which might be part of the reason why I was having trouble finding them. Okay, recall. Probably get a couple of those. I should look into harvesting speed, and then maybe get the duo mine. But what I really want is this. Okay. I'm curious about what rotating bullets means. But 3 shots should mean that I'm just able to destroy most asteroids on a single salvo. Hopefully there's some way to increase asteroid health and payouts. It does also make me wonder if I'm actually destroying a bunch of these. You know what? Maybe we will switch to manual shooting. You know, part of the reason why the arrow might be a little frenetic is purely from the perspective of I keep destroying them. I didn't get it. I keep destroying them off camera. And that is an issue. Feels like range could actually be an upgrade system here. The one thing I would love to see, and hopefully this crops up over the course of this, is A and B options. The one problem with like a big talent tree like this, where you can actually get every single node, is that it does lead to very homogeneous gameplay. And that is somewhat of a concern. If only because, like, you know, if every single player's build ends up being the same, it's not that interesting. I like being able to compare notes with other players and be like, ooh, you know, what did you do? Oh, what did you do? Okay, so there's the rotating bullets, there's that, but I don't think we need it. Let's go for the asteroid spawn rate. Let's see what we have out here. Magnet range, asteroid spawn rate, or asteroid spawn rate. Like, one of my favorite things to see with To the Core is the amount of people comparing and contrasting like which direction they went with their builds. Admittedly, you could get every single upgrade over the course of that game. That wasn't that hard. But the amount of people being like, yeah, I went grenade spec and you didn't even touch it. And it's just like, grenades were good? I guess they did become good later on. And then more recently there was Journey to Incremental, which I think really exemplified like fun build crafting. And so it's one of those where, like, I would love to see some of these nodes actually be like, yeah, do you want extra energy or do you want to just go hella fast? Because from my own perspective, I'm not actually sure if I care about, I'm not actually sure if I care about having a huge energy tank. Maybe later on, but right now, like, these grind loops are about as good as I could ask them to be. Longer than this, and I'm wasting upgrade potential. So where else does this go? Yeah, it's a lot of asteroid spawn rate. Let's see where these go. Attack speed by a little bit. Eh. Yeah, let's see about getting that second mine. Because I might be able to scale things up even further with a secondary mine. And who knows, maybe there's some cool upgrades hidden behind that. It's difficult to tell. The one problem I do run into, somewhat with a lot of incremental games, is this pacing of them. That I love playing incremental idler games, but many of them are huge. They take dozens of hours to get through, and eventually you're like struggling to make any kind of progress. And so, you know, I don't want to say there's kind of the lasting question mark of like, you know, is this one that I can actually play to completion, or is this one where I'm going to be sitting there watching it for a while? What was it? I think it was Realm Grinder. I really like that one. The amount of build crafting there is quite impressive. But playing it is like a weird misery because you just spend so much time looping and making functionally no progress, or resetting all that progress. And so it's like, I love the idea of prestiging in these games, but it also makes me feel, I don't want to say neurotic per se.
You feel pretty small?
A lot of asteroid spawn rate. Let's at least get one of these. Bullet lifetime by a second, bullet lifetime by a second. It's okay. Snag both of those. Like, the thing is, the extra energy capacity really doesn't make much of a difference here, because, you know, ultimately, the degradation speeds up the longer I'm out. Okay. So I think the biggest thing I could do for myself at this point is just go really hard on asteroid spawn rate. As many of my upgrades as I can possibly pack into it. Okay, how much am I at? 67. Ugh. So I'm probably just going to put most of my upgrades on that side of the tree. Because right now I one-shot every single asteroid I shoot at. So it's more of a matter of like, okay, can I destroy this thing in a reasonable amount of time? And are there enough asteroids for me to destroy? Really just the constant flying into the void, hoping that I can find another asteroid to destroy, is holding me back the most. And so if I just have oodles of asteroids on screen at all times, that's probably going to speed us up more than anything else. But I guess to bring up the A-B options, you know, all these magnet upgrades are good, and I probably do want to invest in those. But some part of me is just like, yeah, but what if I could just increase the asteroid spawn rate and then the distance at which they spawn? Same thing with the kind of bullet lifetime. Like, maybe that is actually going to be quite good later, but if I was constantly being given options between A or B, you know, do I want bullet lifetime, or do I want more bullet, or do I want more asteroid? That's not the best. And none of this is like particularly important right now, nor should it be changed for this game. It's just kind of musing on like how to do good incremental design. It feels weird to write about, to talk about this stuff and write about this stuff, having literally never made one. Clearly what I should do is just put together something in Godot or some, you know, teach myself just bare minimum programming to make one of these so I can talk about it. Because every once in a while I'll like bring this stuff up and like, I'll just be talking about like design philosophy or ideas and whatnot, and somebody will be like, "You've never made a game, how dare you talk about this?" It's like, yeah, but I've played more games than almost any human being on the planet. At least in terms of like how old I am. I'm sure some like really, you know, long in the tooth game developer, game player people have just played way more games than I ever have. At least, you know, at my current age. But as I get older, there's probably going to be some kind of world record that I quietly set. Purely just in terms of sheer volume, maybe. Okay, I think we have enough to get the second mine. 111, buy a duo mine. So, new resource type, whatever the heck that thing is. We can get a quad mine, but I can't afford it. Quad mine. Here, let's follow this for a second. I want to see freeze chance. Huh. Oh, chance to freeze power. I'll have to look at the rotating bullets. Like, there's a very real possibility we just get it to the point. Ooh, new asteroid type. But there's a very real possibility that eventually we do want, like, big magnet range and spawn rates and whatnot. It feels like... I wonder if spawn rates are not split between asteroid types. So the reason why it's felt kind of sparse is because we needed to unlock the second type. Could be. But yeah, I wonder if eventually I'm just going to have such a big magnet range that... no point in getting it. Let's just recall, see what I can get. And that should give us a lot more bits per second. Let's see. I think I'm just going to keep pushing the asteroid spawn rates. Just get that stupid high. I guess we need to think about damage again. Because the blue asteroids are tougher. I'd like to at least be able to take them out in 2 hits, rather than just 1. But maybe that's just me. That one's still there? Yeah. Mostly I want to just get it so that these things are spawning in a consistent manner, so I'm not wild goose chasing after the erratic arrow being like, there's an asteroid, wait, no, there's an asteroid, wait, what about that asteroid? Like so. And maybe that's just freaking out because the closest asteroids on either side are further and further away. Okay. 10% more damage? Sure. I should look into the rotating bullets. I don't even know what that's about. I wonder if I almost kind of wish the asteroid detector was a... Oh, you know what would be really cool? You know those, like, synth things? I know that's vague, but, like, when you're listening to a music, you have different, like, synthesizer, or not synthesizers, music visualizers. And there's one that's just, like, a bunch of bars that jump up and down depending on, like, what the range of the current music is. You know, so if it's really low, it's going to be a lot of bars kind of on a low scale, and then if it's, like, really energetic, it's just, like, all of them freaking out constantly. I could actually see the... Oh, damn it, didn't get it. I could actually see the indicator being kind of a weird heat map ring, where instead of just a single arrow pointing at the nearest asteroid, it's a ring around, like a ring of bars around your ship that increase in size based on how close the nearest asteroids are. And maybe this could even be like a whole upgrade tree in and of itself. Or eventually it's even like changing colors based on whatever you're hunting down. Because I think that would actually be a really swell way of kind of identifying, hey, here's a bunch of stuff. Oh, I wonder if I'm getting extra power. I bet every time I destroy one of these, I get a proportion of my power back. I wonder if it's proportional. Maybe. Okay. Well, did I want to try? I have 2. Let's get a pair of rotating bullets and we'll just see what those look like. Oh, so it literally is just a damage swarm aura. That's actually neat. So maybe the A-B options that I'm kind of talking about here are literally just like, hey, which of these do you invest in? Because it does seem like the prices on everything scales up kind of at an even pace, with more options than you can possibly hope to buy. At least initially. And so eventually you get everything, but it's slow going up until that point. Because I do like the idea of these rotating bullets and just being like a giant battering ram. Let's do a second harvest just because. The problem is I'm going to need a lot of them, and I'm going to need to increase my speed more than anything else. Because if I'm wicked quick and I can just kind of zip through, I can clear through a lot of these things. If I was wicked quick and there were a lot of asteroids, I could potentially just like lawnmower my way through. And that actually sounds very attractive, and I think I'm going to try and go for that direction. Eventually. But I'll have to see how much energy I get back from harvesting these. Because it could be one of those where it's a percentage. Quad mine's a little pricey. Yeah, a lot of just total damage to asteroids. But I do really like the massive talent tree. It'd actually be interesting if there was some upgrades that provided you some level of foresight of like, hey, what's further down the tree? Because I think that could be kind of neat. But I'm just spitballing. I don't think it's particularly necessary here. I think this game's honestly impressing me on its own. Like, the initial bit had kind of that, I don't want to say that first impression of like, this might be just okay. But the more I like delve into this talent tree, the more I'm like, no, I actually can very much see this being quite good. You know, the one thing I'd love to see, and entirely secondary, is actually mild roguelike power-ups. Like, for every 30 seconds you survive here, you actually get like a mid-run upgrade that potentially gives you some kind of big boost. I don't know what it is about incremental games specifically that makes me want to roguelikeify them, but it feels like you could do some really interesting things by combining, especially this format, with something like Vampire Survivors. Where you're going out on like much shorter successive runs with a little bit of like mid-run progression, but it's mostly about massive amounts of meta progression. Like, maybe that's it. It starts with like a 30-second gameplay loop. Let's see. Now, probably better to just grab whatever I can. Yeah, let's see what these give me. Maxed out, damage to asteroids. I'm just gonna follow one of these paths as long as I can go. Because the price doesn't go up by much. Actually, wait, does it increase the price of everything else? Maybe. Let's pay attention to that. This is a 19. If I buy this, does that increase the price of the other upgrade paths? I doubt it, but it could. Because that could be the A-B options right there. But, you know, just like Vampire Survivors, but you literally only survive for 30 seconds. And the entire point is just, like, slowly getting up so you can go on, like, progressively longer and longer runs. Or fight more and more enemies in a shorter period of time. That'd be a fascinating experience. I think that, I mean, I guess it's kind of to the core-ish. Considering you're, like, half of your initial runs onto the core, you just literally run into the planet and die. I do think the despawning asteroids is the one thing I'd love to see changed on this one a little bit. Just because I can, like, remember that there's an asteroid this direction, like, just off screen, and I move that direction and it's just poofed out of existence. Like, it should probably be a 2-screen distance or something like that before anything despawns. Unless it's not, and I'm just somehow, like, really messing up my sense of direction here. Not that it really matters one way or another. Nah, didn't get it. Do like one more round. Yeah, the other thing is the asteroids that spawn directly behind me. Turning around feels weirdly unsatisfying. Like I'm not really forging a path or anything, and I'm just... I just have things teleporting into the zone. Ooh. I wonder if we eventually get things coming to attack me. Probably not, but it actually would be kind of cool if the things that teleport into the area are random foes more than anything else. But yeah, if there was a weighting system on things only spawn in like a frontal, I'm gonna say maybe like 120 degree arc. Maybe 180 degrees, so nothing's really ever spawning behind you. Okay. Probably just gonna keep investing in those top level ones. Okay, so this is 19. That's another rotating bullet. Nope, doesn't look like it actually increased it at all. Other one would actually be like a slight visual indicator of, hey, I can still buy this. Like I can afford this upgrade. Again, not that important, but like a small little white dot or something next to, hey, you could buy this. On the talent, on the talent tree would make like a huge difference, purely from like a user readability perspective. Let's see. Like, very much neither here nor there. It's not an important quality of life feature. It's just one of those where small bits like that go a very long way in terms of actually speeding up the game. Because otherwise I'm just going to mostly focus on like damage, because that's kind of my main goal here. I don't know why it is. It doesn't really benefit me. I think movement speed would be the biggest one, but I can't find it as an option. I mostly wanted to just see how far could I follow a path. I guess I should go back to asteroid spawn rates more than anything else, because I have a lot of downtime here. But I can also two-shot the blue asteroids, which was kind of one of my big hopes. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is a consistent thing with me. I tend to feedback dump on games that I'm actually super positive about because it feels like there's a ton of things that could be done to improve upon it, either with this game or somebody else making one just like it. Because I love this formula and I love this format. Okay, do we keep pushing this? Increases total rotating bullets by 4. Okay. That's a lot. And yeah, it does kind of feel like that is its own talent path. It does get progressively more expensive, but maybe that's fine. But if we ever get to the point where we have a silly amount of asteroids on screen, these rotating bullets are probably going to be one of the biggest, like, means of cutting through them, because they persist. I don't know what the tick rate on them is, but I'm assuming it's reasonably good. Okay, do we keep pushing it? No, that's really expensive. Asteroid spawn rate. Asteroid spawn rate. Asteroid spawn rate. Yeah, let's just push that up. Because yeah, if I can have a whole bunch of asteroids on screen that my rotating bullets can actually do damage to, that would be nice. Because currently I can just one-shot them and move on. Let's see. So what else is going to talk about? I don't know, the how to design a good incremental game. I think I'll have to think about doing a write-up for that. I did one for good bullet heaven design. I think I might actually retool that and turn that into a, you know, just roguelike power-up design in general. But something to kind of obsess over, because it is kind of important to me. Oh, we get the 1.2 based on how many mines we have. Of course. I hadn't really been thinking about that. Okay. I think I might switch to my own music momentarily. This is actually fairly good, like, kind of ambient post-rock. The one beef that I have a lot of beefs with things. The one mild beef that I have mostly boils down to I don't like any kind of post-rock that has a little bit of that, like, found footage spoken word. Where they use, like, clips from old shows or radio broadcasts or movies or something. Like, I actually do not know where all these audio clips come from. I'm assuming, you know, the artist is usually just getting them themselves. But some amount of that, it fries my brain. You know, imagine trying to talk over somebody all the time, except for the other person doesn't ever shut up. It's not really anything I hold against them. It's just a, ooh, where's my post-rock? Oh, I'm literally looking at it. There we go. Grab another one of those. Kind of pricey. Ooh, but I got a lot of upgrades in this direction. These are cheap. There we go. That's got to be a huge upgrade to the amount of asteroids I can spawn. Was that... I must have killed 2 asteroids on top of each other. And that is kind of the goal, because currently, like, I'm having no trouble ripping through the asteroids. We don't need more damage. I don't need to last longer, necessarily, or at least not too much longer. What I need is just targets to blast. And boy, those upgrades made a difference. It actually feels like I'm gunning things down now, as opposed to just wandering the void. And that has kind of the knock-on effect of sustaining my run. Oh yeah, we effectively just doubled the amount of resources we normally get. Come on. There we go. Grab all these. Yeah, nice and easy. Yeah, I want to get this to the point where I actually cannot shoot them all. So I have to rely on my rotating bullets. Because once we hit that point, I bet we're going to be loaded with resources. Then we'll need the magnet upgrade for sure. I also like my post-rock to be a little bit more outrun synthwave, I think. But I think that's just a personal preference thing. Not as good of a haul as last time. We might want to start saving up for the quad mine. I think we do. We're getting enough at this point. Okay, 16, 16, 18, 18. Let's see what we got down here. Fair bit. It feels like the asteroid spawn rate is really speeding up. Oh, look at this mess. That's what I'm looking for. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, really all I needed to do was come back and just focus on this, the left side talent tree for a while. It makes me wonder if attack speed has any kind of merit for the rotational bullets. Part of the reason why I wanted to go for the rotational bullets and the asteroid spawn rates is if the rotational bullets are not affected by attack speed. You know, the only way I could actually see it being affected is if it increases their move speed so they whirl around faster, which, you know, very well could be the case. But if they're not affected by that, then it's more of a matter of just completely ignoring that entire talent tree. How would I describe this? I play a lot of board games, and ever since I played Racer of the Galaxy when I was, you know, in college with my friends, one of the strategies that usually won me the game was finding ways that I could specifically isolate one of the mechanics, one of the phases, and not do it. So if you've played like Wingspan or Race for the Galaxy or whatever, if you can find any way to engine your way out of generating food, drawing cards, laying eggs, you know, harvesting resources, all that stuff, if you can find some way of automating or working around investing in that direction, you usually free up a ton of resources in a complete opposite direction. Looks like we need to do like 2 more. And so, like, sure, some of this attack speed could be good, but I don't really benefit from any of this. Rotating bullet speed. So there is a merit to investing in that direction. But still, kind of the point is, like, you know, for adding the triple bullets to the main gun, or even attack speed on the main gun, if I can build around never investing in that direction, that means more resources spent on my rotating bullets, potentially. And there's no telling on it if that's actually a viable choice, but it's back to that A-B options. I was talking to Shell earlier about, you know, what kind of what the channel's identity is. And for me, I think the big one is player agency and expression. That I love games where you can kind of control your destiny in some way, shape, or form. It feels very satisfying to me to have, you know what, let's just go to auto fire. My only fear with the auto fire is that I'm going to be killing things off camera. And not noticing. And so there's going to be like just asteroid bits left behind. Which seems to be at least somewhat possible. Hence why I was kind of hoping that the shots would actually have a shorter range at start, so I wouldn't feel compelled to invest in that direction. Because I'd much rather go wicked fast than have long-range shots, if that makes sense. Let's see, what else was I going to say? But so, I don't know, for me it feels like I have a lot of agency here with what I'm building and how I'm building it. And that immediately feels incredibly good. Yeah, let's grab the 2 rotational bullet bonuses. The problem is, like, the rest of the attack speed isn't really that helpful. Okay, so let's just go for spawn rate. Some of these have gotta... let's see, some of these have gotta get me good stuff. Can I actually use a controller here? Yeah. Oh, using a controller... I have... Oh, God. Okay, using a controller might not actually be that viable. Maybe it's fine. It's effectively creating a virtual cursor. I can see it moving around on my other computer monitor. Yeah, you can even see it moving around here. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, let's not do that. I just find, especially for moving around in a game like this... Ouch. Especially for moving around in a game like this, having a controller is a little bit more comfortable for me. Okay, anything else? No. I'm curious about how far each of these paths go. What I'd like to find is a dead end. What am I trying to think of? We might also want to invest a little bit more into damage. And also very much put myself at just the right range, so my rotational bullets are actually damaging these things. Because here I am talking about potentially building around it, and then barely using it. I think it's because I got spoiled. I didn't need to. And now that I do, it's more of an issue. Okay, let's clog through these things. We're actually getting to the point where there's more asteroids on screen that I can destroy. Part of it is I'm going for the red asteroids more than anything else because it seems practical to do so. Okay, maybe we go back here. Yeah, those are getting pricey. And it does feel really good to have this many asteroids on screen considering where we started this process. I think my big one is I want more rotational bullets. And some more magnet range would actually go pretty far. Okay. Because yeah, if I can have my magnet be the same distance, the magnet range be the same distance as my rotational bullets, that would help things along tremendously. Also maybe get it so that my rotational bullets are actually able to one-shot one of the greens. Let's see. More rotating bullets, but too expensive. Kill some time. There we go. So it seems like the damage on... Let's see, the damage on the rotational bullets is literally just like 1 per contact. Let's see, so every time one of those touches a thing, that's when it triggers. Okay, we're making some good time here. Oh, I bet the green boulders have exactly 50 health. That was one of the big limiting factors. I wish I could actually see how much this was. Because I have 9 upgrades on this, but it would actually be neat to see, like, this is how many you're getting per second. Let's see. Like, the attack speed is nice, don't get me wrong. I was still hoping to get more upgrades down that path for the rotational bullets. Because yeah, I want them to be whizzing. I want to be the cosmos flying around, wreaking untold destruction upon anything and everything in my path. And alas, we might also just need more asteroids for that. Okay. Scoot over here. Yeah, because currently the rotational bullets just feel kind of weak in comparison to, hey, but what if gun? Let's see, 45 to get that upgrade. Ouch. Doable. Ouch. I'm gonna put... Ow. Wow. Some points into a couple of these paths just to see where they get me. A bunch of power capacity. I'm not super keen on it, even though it's even though it keeps me out here longer just to get some more resources. I still want to be able to come back and grab as many upgrades as possible. And the faster my upgrade cycle, the better. Whereas the longer I'm out here, the longer it is between upgrades, the slower I potentially progress. Maybe. I know, it feels like there has to be kind of a give and take on that one. But yeah, it seems like rather than attack speed and even rotational speed, the best thing I could do is just keep pushing for more bullets on the rotation. Because yeah, if I just had like an army of them out there, that would maybe be a bit faster. Okay, Octomine is actually reachable. Ooh, 120 cripes. I'm also noticing a number of these have level 1 out of 1. I wonder if it ever gets to the point where we actually can increase them past level 1. Ooh, now that would be an interesting prestige. Is your prestige resets you kind of back to the beginning, but now you can put 2 points into literally everything. I forgot how much I like this song. What is this one? I'm gonna say I really like it. It's mixed... Oh, Stuck in the Apocalyptic Vision. By... doesn't say who. Unfortunately, I don't have the most... or the best... the best curation for my own music library. I got it all from Epidemic Sound, which is like a music library service for content creators and other people. And so I can use it as background music for videos like this. But one thing that I'm really bad about is I usually just lump everything together into a single album, but that usually destroys the artist. Or at least the artist credits. Let's see, 4 bits per minute, yeah. Guess I'm gonna keep going this direction. Damage to asteroids by 10%, ouch. It does feel like we're mildly hitting some doldrums, but I think part of it is I'm pushing too much down damage routes, and I should be looking elsewhere. Other thing is I'm getting pretty close to the point where I might actually have to turn off the sound effects just because bloop every time I destroy an asteroid. Like, it's fine, but repetitive sound effects aren't really my jam. The other question is, do I want to go out of my way to just unlock the next type of asteroid? It's a little slow. But if it's a 1, 2, 4, maybe the next tier is going to be 8 bits a second for every upgrade that I invest in. On the flip side, these things are really tough. And maybe what I should be doing is just increasing that asteroid spawn rate by a silly degree. Because even that, I think, was an extra 12%. Admittedly, I have no idea, like, how much 12% really makes a difference between whatever I was previously on. Now, hopefully at some point we can kind of find some extremely powerful magnet upgrades so I can really hoover up all this stuff that I'm leaving behind. Okay. So yeah, it's not that bad. But it is somewhat easy to lose out on resources that I'm just going to leave behind on the path. Oh, that's what I was doing last year. Let's see. Do recall? Now let's do another harvest route. We can do a little bit more. What was I going to say? I don't know. Just burn in time a little bit. I was just trying to think of like, yeah, what did I do last year for the holidays? I'm kind of on this like weird loop where time doesn't exist for me, and so every once in a while I'm just like, oh yeah, what did I do the last time I visited my parents? And the answer was Norp Epilogue. That was the other incremental game. It feels like every time I go on a trip to visit my family, it's punctuated by some incremental game purely by happenstance. And I think I know what I might end up playing when I'm visiting them this time. It does feel like I might need to pick some topics, though. This one's a little bit more meditative. Some other incremental games tend to be a little bit more passive with how you interact with them. I only need 45 for this one, so like 1 or 2 more routes on that. We'll have enough. Magnet range, blessed be. Ooh, and more. And that actually looked like that might have been a terminus. But there's a very real possibility that some of these will actually have like an end. Should also probably try and count out how much HP a blue rock has. I'm going to assume it's about no, it's more than 200. It's got to be more than 200. Yeah, gotta keep pushing that magnet range. Also, the other thing to note is that a lot of these talent trees are kind of symmetrical, so I might actually be able to pick up some really cheap upgrades just by going down one side and then the other. Or maybe not cheap upgrades, but get what I'm looking for, rather than building both sides up and not really knowing what I have over there. Let's do one more loop. We need like 6 more red. Another one I should look into is just getting even more rotational bullets. Because yeah, eventually my magnet range is going to be bigger. Let's see. My magnet range is going to be bigger than my rotational range. I wonder if there's also a possibility that I'll eventually get it so that I can actually stay pretty consistently out here for as long as I want. No, the drain gets worse over time. I just gotta back off a little bit. Sneak through. Okay, so let's recall. By the Octomine. They're getting cheaper, I'm noticing. Okay, so it was this one. Oh, that's just damage to asteroids. But yeah, if I go down this route... Okay, too expensive, but that will end. And I like having terminus points. Because it means I don't have to think about upgrading them anymore. Does mean I've got to find a new route to go down, but that's okay. Yeah, the other reason why I want to invest kind of hard into the rotational bullets is because, yeah, if I can get my magnet range bigger than them, I don't have to worry about picking stuff up. Because then anything that the rotational bullets take out just immediately gets hoovered. There we go. Because at this point they're starting to take out the blues reasonably easily. And they also have, you know, perfect strike through. Ah, need one more. Max that out. Well, don't max it out. It's not quite there. Like 1 or 2 more upgrades. It'd actually be really nice if I could see my pickup radius. And we gotta break at least 1 purple rock here. I don't know if there's practicality to me moving around targets. I think the best thing I can do is mostly just stay still, since my orbital bullets are actually rotating consistently. There we go. So far, so good. Yeah, unfortunately, I keep hearing my bullets destroying things, like, far away, and it's just like, well, I guess I'm not getting that. Really only 2. Alright, whatever. 8 bits per minute. There we go. That's another nice little maxed out branch. Kind of is creating a cute little fish shape. Okay, I think at this point I can start bowling into things. I'll still keep pushing for magnet range just because. But at least this way I can kind of scoot through groups and focus my guns entirely on exactly what whatever like my most meaningful target is. As opposed to wasting time on other things. And having to backtrack just because one of my rotational bullets managed to take something out that I wanted. Take this out first. You know what? Screw it. High density targets. I want to take out the purples, but they're not the biggest goal. Seven more. Should be fine. Alright. Well, I think this is a pretty good stopping point, at least for now. Obviously, there's so much more I could do, but luckily we're coming up on a pretty quiet week. Not much going on during American Thanksgiving, or at least the week of American Thanksgiving. Not a lot of developers want to release things because a lot of people aren't paying attention to social media or new releases during that time period. And so, from my perspective, it's one of those where, you know, gives me a little bit of time to finish up the games that I actually want to finish up, and also, you know, try out some kind of weird things. And so in this case, yeah, I think I might actually put a bunch of time into this game. I'm curious if it's still really getting updates. I saw one Steam review refer to the developer as being very active and at responding to feedback. And so from my perspective, that's, I mean, really cool to hear. Damn it. Because I love seeing games progress. Let's see. Increase asteroid spawn rate. Increase asteroid spawn rate. I think damage is going to be the big one. Which is cheap. This is cheap. Well, it was cheap. Everything is pricey down this line. Huh. Nice and symmetrical. Okay. Let's do maybe one more and then call it that. But, yeah, I don't know. I just need to see that it's still getting active updates. Curious how much it's going to change. Hopefully not too much. It'd be kind of a shame to dive into this and find out later on that the developers done like a huge overhaul and really fixed and changed a lot of things, or taken all my feedback to heart and effectively made a 2.0 version of this game. But who knows? Maybe that'd be good for a video. I kind of hope they don't, though. It's almost one of those where it's like, that's kind of useful for sequels and other things. Like, I love little bits of quality of life, but if it's like a massive overhaul, turning this into the first, like, true blue incremental roguelike, then yeah, leave that for maybe the second game. I don't know. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't mind coming back for a subsequent video. It's just that the fact that this game is $1. The main reason why that matters is mostly just because this should be $5. Just flat out. Like, I love the fact that it's a buck. It means that there's literally no friction on picking this game up. If you love incremental games in even some capacity, you are going to enjoy this one quite a lot. Let's just keep investing in these. Whew. Minute must have just ticked over a little bit. Yeah, do I want to see if any of these give me rotational speed? It does. Okay. So that means we kind of want to go down this path. Because if I can get my rotating bullets to rotate really quickly, that means we're going to be smashing through things that much faster with them. Anywho, so yeah, once again, I guess if you, well, I should mention that Deep Space Cache is available on Steam right now, so if you do want to pick it up and play it yourselves, just follow the link in the description below. It is one of the cheapest incremental games that I will ever have such an, well, I mean, okay. It's one of the cheapest incremental games I will ever cover, and I very much am saying, like, if you love incremental games, check this one out. It has me hooked in the same way that To The Core did, Norbaplog, Nodebuster, and so on and so forth, and very much, like, learned a lot of good lessons from those games, but also does something completely different in and of itself. The fact that I'm flying around destroying asteroids just feels fresh, in a very, like, Nova Drift way. And the fact that I am slowly building a build entirely around these rotational bullets feels quite good to me. Even if, yes, there's a knock-on effect of me investing in other things. It's not my core focus. And I'm quite curious to see, like, how much variety there is. How deep is this talent tree? I can only imagine it keeps going for a while. But, at least for now, I guess the other thing I should mention is, the game does not have a whole lot of reviews on Steam. And so, if you were around when I covered Nodebuster, I'd specifically asked if you do pick this game up, and once again, highly encourage you to do so. If you do pick it up, please leave the game a review. Say nice things about it, say whatever you want. I mean, it doesn't have to be nice, be critical. Give the developer some feedback. You know, just keep on topic, don't like do weird stuff like saying, I don't know. I'm not even going to put that thought into your heads. You know, be fair and objective. I want my videos to inspire positivity in the games industry, and I want to see this game blow up. I want to see this go from, you know, 16, 17 reviews as of this video, all the way up to a couple thousand in a month. Because I think that's what happened with Nodebuster, and I'm super proud of that. I'm proud of you guys for helping give the game that kind of boost. So, if you do leave a review, if you want to, you don't have to, make a note like Wanderbots sent me or something like that, purely from the perspective of it makes it really easy for me to track it. And, you know, take a look like how much of an impact did I have on this game's, you know, market visibility, because I don't get that opportunity that often. Usually I don't get to play games in a vacuum. And so in this case, I might actually be able to and see where that goes. So yeah, if you do pick it up, just leave a review and say nice things about it, and let them know. Let everyone know that I sent ya. But with all that said, I guess if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like, it helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe, because I got tons to check out and show off. But for now, I'm losing my voice, so thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.